Oh, new camera. Can you tell? Let me know about sound, etc. Today was just me setting up and figuring out sound, but I know it's different for everybody, etc., etc. Good evening. Yeah, we're just getting started. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the new computer. It's got more megapixels. Yes, new stuff, new gear. Let me know. I changed also where the mic is. I put the mic here. So we'll see if that is loud enough now. Super quiet, Kisai Tenchi. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I can say closer. I can turn the gain up. So why don't I do that while we're just getting started? Okay, we'll turn gain up. Give me a moment. Such audio. Hello, arrogant logician. Yeah, such audio much now. Pump up the volume. Okay. Skeevy Wonder, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, I'm gonna get on the sound thing. Yeah, I'll pump up the gain. It was always kind of an issue with the humming thing that happens sometimes, but I think I'm just gonna have to pump it up. Pump it up. Okay, how's that? Yeah, well, I think just on the whole, this is about the same. Hi guys, hi Slat Studio, Kima BG, yeah, and Kisai of course, Ferrari of course. Nice. Okay, great. Let me know if you guys want me to fiddle with the sound anymore. Okay, hey, registered 99, much better. Cool. Okay. So, I mentioned before, I was using, in fact, where's the old one? Okay. Good evening, by the way. I'm glad to see you guys. Great. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so this, up until now, all the streams have been happening on this. I'm gonna move back. Hold on. Don't worry about the sound. I'm gonna move back because I want to show you guys. We have a new toy. So this is what we were using before. Deluxe Talks. Good to see you, DJ Mega Hammer. Howdy, howdy. This is what I was working on. Yeah, I mentioned my keyboard was starting to stick, so I tried to clean it, and I busted the D, and the D just fell off, so I had to tape it with Scotch tape to its neighboring keys. But yeah, this is my machine that I've been working on. For the most part, I would say maybe most of the development of the Crimson Diamond has been on this guy. And I love it. Bill Kuhn, yes, good evening, Bill Kuhn. New computer. So this, yes, Surface Pro 2, my old faithful. I love it. So yeah, what I have with this one is the power cover. So this is the power cover, and it's thick and heavy, but I kind of like the weight of it. Actually, it feels stable, and it's a battery pack as well as keyboard. So those are the two parts. And I love this machine. I do. And I used it in conjunction with Wacom pen. This is a bamboo stylus. Surface Pro 2 was the last of the Surface products by Microsoft to use Wacom drivers. So that's a cool thing because Wacom makes the best styluses. So that's this. Yes, let's do the F in chat for the Surface Pro. Yeah, this is really stood the test of time. There's nothing wrong with it per se. It's a matter of just of the peripherals I was starting to attach to it. The thing could not deal with them that well, those peripherals. Particularly my SSD, bizarrely enough. It's for something that's the size of a deck of cards, this thing is super power thirsty. And it would just make the computer not work properly. Yes, Tonda, good to see you. New computer hype. Yes. Okay, so that's this. And I'm going to talk real quick about the new thing, the new hotness. Yes, I know, arrogant logician. Microsoft and Wacom, please make up. Please, I don't know what. Someone give someone a lot of money to do this because Wacom is the best, stuff in the business. So anyway, yes, Microsoft Surface Pro 2, great machine. I'm probably still going to use it from time to time for things. But what I did end up getting is this guy. So this is a Microsoft Surface Book 3. And you can see one of the reasons I got it is it, I can't reach. It detaches. It actually does detach. And actually very similar to the Microsoft Surface Pro 2, it has a battery pack in the keyboard again. So I didn't get away from that. Duck with Shades, hello. Yes, Gooseegg PT is broken. Yeah, it does detach. It's got a detach button on the keyboard and stuff. And so when I got this, I bought it not having seen it in the store because I'm completely avoiding stores right now. And when I got this in the mail, I actually was really scared because it was very heavy. So this box itself is like 2 pounds, 2.5, 3 pounds, I would say. And the unit, the Surface Book 3 is about like 4 pounds maybe. So altogether it was like 6 pounds or 7 pounds. And I'm thinking, am I going to have to return this? This is really, really heavy. Although I did read on the site that the Microsoft Surface Pro 3 was about the same weight as the Surface Pro 2, weirdly enough. So I should be used to the weight, and the weight is fine. Once I unpacked it out of the box, which we're working on it right now with it. It is about the same weight, and I'll show you what's cool about that because it's about the same weight, but it's actually much larger. The screen size of the new one, I got the 13.5-inch Surface Pro 3. Yeah, and it does look great to draw and work, and that's one of the reasons I got the Surface Book 3. It's detachable. Yeah, I got the 13.5. The drawing is okay. I haven't tested it that much, actually. Although what's really cool about it, and I actually found out about this as I was checking out, and I nearly bought the wrong stylus. They recently came out with this. So one of my complaints with the Entrix styluses was that they run on quadruple A batteries. And I didn't want to downgrade all the way from Wacom not having any batteries and no need to charge it as in a battery. No rechargeable built-in like the Apple Pen, the iPencil. This is I think came out fairly recently. It is, you can charge it. There's like a charging cradle. So here's the cradle. Oh, it's hooked up to some stuff. The charging cradle, and then here's the pen. So I thought that was pretty good. I thought it was really nice that they actually did come out with one with a rechargeable battery. If it's not Wacom, but it's closer than what they had before. Bitoman, hello. Thanks for joining stream. No, Edenwave, it does not work with Wacom pens. It's still Entrig, as far as I know. But this pen is rechargeable, unlike the other Microsoft Surface Pen. So, hey LDZZZ. Yeah, well the other ones need batteries because I don't know why I don't know why they did that. But oh, thanks for the follow. Always time for tea. And those are my notifications, and they're working. Although I didn't hear the audio part. And I know someone followed me last stream, and when I was in the Photoshop mode, and I didn't hear the notification, so sorry that I didn't shout you out, because when I test it, weirdly, the sound comes up, but sometimes I'm busy, I don't hear them, and I don't turn them up that high. The Renaissance, good to see you. Yeah, I know you stream same day, same time, but good to see you. Thanks for coming, I appreciate it. Oh yeah, I can shout you out, actually. Shout out at their Renaissance. Yeah, the Renaissance, great guy. He streams adventure games, retro. I don't know necessarily retro, but definitely adventure games, and does some awesome painting on stream too. So yeah, definitely check his stream out when he's on. Okay. do you look better in the service screen, Gooseegg PT? What I love I mentioned before on Twitter, but the Microsoft Surface Pro 2 has a 1.2 megapixel camera, and this one has a 5 megapixel camera. So hello, it's pretty good. I've got no complaints so far. Let's see. Eden with You Don't Hear the Hum. I guess it's more like people who are watching on or listening with earphones maybe, which I don't do, so I never notice, but I always try to boost the volume and see if I can hear anything. Okay, so oh yeah, so I wanted to show a quick size comparison. Yeah, Dan is away. He might pop into chat. We'll see if we're lucky. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys quickly the size comparison. So on the top we can see the Surface Book 3, and the Surface Pro 2 is on the bottom. And you can, it's the same, it weighs the same, but you can see it's like twice, the screen almost looks like it's twice the size. Yes, Bill Kuhn, the gang is here in chat. Feels like 1997. Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna, and then I've got another picture here to show you the screen size. So yeah, you can see the screen is quite an upgrade for me. Screen size. The keyboard obviously is an actual keyboard that has, it's actually a really nice keyboard on the Surface Pro 3 with some nice backlit keys. But yeah, they weigh the same, which is kind of amazing to think about. And even more amazing to think about is all of the hardware is in the screen portion, and I don't know how they did that. The only drawback is when you detach the screen from the keyboard, the battery life, it says 3.5 hours. I haven't tested that, and it might be longer if you're using something like CS2, Photoshop CS2 or something. We'll see. But I figure 3.5 hours is fair for detached, considering all the hardware that it's packing. And I don't see myself using it detached very much. I will from time to time probably, but having that as an option with the Stylus, it's a lot like having the Wacom mobile device, where it's actually a computer in the screen, except those cost way more money. But yeah, all is easy. I feel like 3.5 hours is totally fair, and like I said, I have to test it. I haven't managed to get around to testing it yet. Arrogant Logician, 40 minutes on battery? Yikes. Is it because it's old? Oops. Okay, so those are the comparisons. And I feel pretty good about that, I have to say. So yeah, it was kind of me choosing between the Surface Pro 7 and the Surface Book 3, but I decided to go with the Surface Book 3 because it just has more muscle. I got one with an NVIDIA chip in it because I figured it would be good for, you know, doing video and streaming and stuff. Yeah, laptops they don't age well, and I'm glad I got as much use as I did out of the Surface Pro 2. It served me well, and it still does work just fine. It's just a matter of, yeah, like I said, peripherals. The peripherals are kind of making it work a little bit harder than intended. Wonderful. So I'm gonna, at this point, I'm going to, as I do, in case anyone here is new to chat, new to watching, introduce myself real quick and run the trailer. So let's see. Oops. Okay, there it is. I'm working on this adventure game. It's a text parser adventure game set in Canada. Ooh, I forgot to turn off the other music. There we go. And you play a mineralogist, Nancy Maple, who is speaking right now, and you have to go up north to a lodge and listen in on conversations, search around, all the fun stuff you'd expect from an adventure game, and hopefully it's going to play a little better than the stuff from, 30 years ago. I hope anyway. We'll see. But that's what I'm making. I'm using Adventure Game Studio. And, oh yeah, I forgot to give a quick dev update, progress report thing, which I'll do at the end of this trailer. Yeah, I know, Bitterman, 30 years ago. It's rough. It's rough to think about. Okay. So yeah, so there it is. There she is. There is a demo available on Steam, on itch.io, and also direct from the Crimson Diamond on my site, which is not on here, so I gotta fix that probably. But if you Google the Crimson Diamond, it should pop up. And I'm Julia Minamata, and I'm solo indie game dev. Although I do have a musician working with me on this, And I'm going to find out how to link him. Okay, yeah, Dan is doing. Oh, why isn't that working? Oh no, whoops, wrong thing. Okay, that's not working because it's not a thing. Oh, thanks, arrogant logician. Oh, there's Dan. Dan? How is that not working? Uh-oh. Are my links not working? Hold on, let me try something. L? Does L work? Hmm. Did D work? Sorry, guys. That's another thing about upgrading. It's just everything. Okay, let's see. Oh, let me catch up and chat a little bit. Okay. Yes, new toy. Hey, Phoenicia, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Excuse me. New toys are fun. Bill Kuhn, I don't have a dock. I just have a powered USB hub that I just got on Amazon. And it is Wi-Fi. You can, I think is there an LTE version of this? I don't know, but this is I'm using Wi-Fi. Well, I'm actually using an Ethernet, USB Ethernet adapter right now. Yes, and you didn't wait time to add the Surface Pro 2 to my personal Hall of Fame. Absolutely. I still, like I said, I might still use it from time to time. And thank you, arrogant logician, on the congrats on the new development laptop. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because the software I use is really old, so it wasn't a matter of needing something new for the actual development of the game. It's like everything else surrounding the game, like streaming and the new the solid state hard drive I'm using. All the peripheral stuff around the actual development is kind of why. And also, it would be nice to play games that have a little bit of 3D. It's going to really open up what I can actually play and see, which is also important. I feel like that's research and important too. So, a lot of reasons to upgrade. Okay. So, oh yes, I was going to do development update. Okay, sorry. Oh yeah, Deluxe Talks. I should put the Surface Pro 2 in the credits of the game. Good idea. Yeah, Eating With. Yeah, I really favor 2D games more than anything. But there's some good stuff out there, and I want to keep an open mind. Development update. Still working on Chapter 4. The upgrading the machine kind of ate into my productivity last week. Because so much of it is how do I get my old software to work on the new thing? And it was tough to get pressure sensitivity to work in CS2, Photoshop CS2. I'm not going to lie. And the first thing, actually, it was hard to install CS2 in the first place, which was very anger-making because I actually have the discs. But as probably a lot of you already know, the registration servers online for these products, Adobe took them down. So I tried installing from the discs, from the actual CDs. These are like 15-year-old CDs I tried installing, and it did not work because, it checks online or whatever, and it just would crap out, which was really frustrating. Yeah, exactly, Kisa Tenchi. They shut down those servers. I do use a pen to draw the art. There's a number of pens here, actually. So the Surface Pro 2 uses Wacom drivers, so this is a Wacom Stylus. When I'm using my iPad to draw, I've got the iPencil. And my most recent acquisition is this Microsoft Slim pen, which is actually flat, which I was wondering if that would bother me, but so far it's so good. So good. Not that it's so good, but so far so good. And it's got an eraser button on the end, which is kind of nice. Charges in a charging cradle, no quadruple A batteries, and so far, yeah, it's not too bad at all. But yeah, I was talking about the pressure sensitivity. That's always a problem when you work with old software like I do. So yeah, the pressure sensitivity. There is a WinTab driver you can download from various places, but you kind of have to completely delete the version that comes loaded on the Windows before you install it. And I did that, and it wouldn't work, and I would go back and forth. I came to the point where I thought I'd have to return this thing because if I can't make the pressure sensitivity work on this detachable tablet, that was part of the reason why I wanted to get this one. So I was thinking maybe I'll return it and get something that's just exactly a laptop with no touchscreen. I managed to get it work after 2 days and a lot of despair. So I am now at the point where I think I've gotten everything working that I want. Oh, Eating Wraith, you had a job with these lovely CS2 boxes? Yeah, I legitimately own the software, and it was so frustrating because I could not install my legit software. I had to go elsewhere to get the software. Let's see. Oh, Registered 99 wants to know, do I SMS? Is that stream? Is that like a stream acronym? SMS, the project planning part. Yeah. So what I do is on Tuesdays I'll do about like 3 or 4 hours, and what I'll do is I'll show, yeah, like I'll show updates and like my hobby stuff I have, and then I'll move into Photoshop CS2 where I work on some art. And we're working on a particular piece, and I think we turned a corner last stream, and I'll show you guys that real soon. So I don't show the project planning because it's a narrative game, and it's like basically all going to be spoilers if I do that. So it's all right now. I'm streaming the art that I'm streaming is the stuff in the introductory sequence. So stuff that is in the demo as it is now is very rough. And so I'm just going back and I'm redoing that stuff. So that's not spoilery, but I can still show, I can still show the process. Hunter 1043, use Krita. It's nice and free. I actually downloaded and worked with GIMP a little bit, which is another open source like image editing software. And I was trying really hard to convince myself that it was going to work for me. And I did get the pressure sensitivity to work in GIMP more than before Photoshop. But let me tell you, as soon as I got the Photoshop pressure sensitivity working, I was like, done. This is all I need. This is all I want. And so I'm just gonna take it and run with it until the wheels fall off, basically. Yeah, Kisai Tenchi. Yeah, I did find online some like serial numbers I could use. So that was like after I found those, and I think that's exactly what I had to do when I was using the Surface Pro 2. So same thing. It just was so long ago that I forgot how to do all that stuff. For you have the CS where they suck the blood out of you every month. Yeah, I won't. Before I do Creative Cloud, I will use GIMP. I will use Krita. I will find something else if I have to. I just not going to do the service thing because the old stuff does exactly what I need and nothing else, right? There's no reason for me to constantly. I don't need something that's going to update itself constantly. Oh, you meant handle? Let's see. I forgot what you said then. Let's see. I hope I answered your question. I'm just trying to catch up with chat. Yeah, Arrogant Logician, yeah, I can see why GIMP is good, and I actually started working with shortcuts to make it feel like Photoshop, but the brush menu was it was making me really, really mad. So I'm so glad I don't have to do with it, but if I needed to, I would have. So, and it is a good piece of software. Yeah, Phoenicia, I know for a fact. I mean, there's another dev I know that still uses CS2, Francisco Gonzalez, who uses it with Lamplight City and for Golden Wake and his upcoming Rosewater. He uses Photoshop CS2 as well. Yes, Last Studio. Why upgrade things that are already perfect? Yeah, I'm big on this is what I need. That's all. So. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to move into Photoshop now because I feel like I've been talking forever. But there is still stuff I want to show you guys. So I did mention there is a sculpture I want to show, like beginning to end. It's another one of my many hobbies, but I'll get into that after. Let's move into some Photoshop. Okay, so here we are. This is what we were working on. And I really think, yeah, right now I'm adding the shadows in there. It's going pretty well. Although I'm kind of a little bit bothered by the pen when I'm streaming is still kind of laggy on this. So I'm not crazy about that. One of the things I had to do to make this display bizarrely is I had to change some power saving setting. Otherwise it wouldn't do a window capture, or it wouldn't do the, I think it's a window cap, like it would on the old machine. So I had to figure out a lot of stuff today. Yeah, Bilkun, I love going through old tech stuff because yeah, there are a lot of memories. One of my favorite things to go through is oh, I should put the tunes back on. Tell me if that's too loud, please. I love to go through old 3.5-inch floppy disks with the labels and everything. I don't know. There's something about that for me. Yeah, Edenwaith, I finished Lamplight City. I liked it a lot, for sure. I can't wait to play the Rosewater demo. Yeah, Edenwaith, you've been playing Firewatch. I also hear good things about that. Arrogant Logician wants to know, do I have a timeline ready for finalizing development? Just taking my time to make it a good game, or just taking my time? I don't have any fixed deadlines for it. When I set deadlines for myself, like I wanted to have chapter 4 finished by I think August or something, September, and it did not happen. And it just ended up staying up later than I would have liked, just to make my own self-imposed deadlines. So I'm work on it as much as I can when I can, and I'm not going to worry too much about timeline. I mean, sooner the better, of course, because there's so many things I want to try and do. So let's get in here. Yeah, chapter 4 will be completed September 31st. Yeah, is that because September has 30 days? I think it might. So yeah, we're working on this guy. This is in the intro section of the game. Edenwaith, who is here, this was his suggestion to work on this screen of the intro, which is the most complicated scene in the intro by far, and this is all I've streamed with my art streams, pretty much, has been this screen, and I guess it's good to start with the hard stuff first. I don't know, but I feel like we're coming to a point where we're gonna get to some place with it. I mean, I've set all the details down, and so right now all I'm doing is starting to look at the photo reference and seeing where the shadows are and laying those in. So that takes a lot less time. Oops. Why is that like that? No. What's happening? Okay, that's weird. Oh, it's on linear burn now for some reason. I must have pressed something. Okay. Yeah, Arrogant Logician. Yeah, I do have a roadmap. Everything is mapped out. Like the broad strokes of the game are mapped out. The story beats and stuff like that. That's all settled for sure. And right now I'm just kind of implementing that stuff and working through the finer details as I develop each section. Oh wow, Allo was telling a story where they were rushing out King's Quest IV. To make sure the game was released in September, they wrote down September 31st. That sounds like something Allo would do. So let's see what we're going to do here. Yeah, Ali's. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to add in some shading, maybe some dithering, and then of course, basically looking at this one, I'm going to do some trees and stuff and etc. But yeah, I think the hard part is over, for hopefully. We will see. But yeah, it's coming along. Like I do want to give it more personality and texture. Let's see. Just looking here. And there is a bit of a shadow there, so I want to echo that hopefully with this shadow. Oh, thank you for the notification. I don't know what that notification was. I should find a way to tell easily. Thank you for whatever that notification was. I can't tell anymore. I can't even get there. Oh, and I missed it. Whatever it was, thank you. Yeah, still, you know, still working out the kinks of this whole thing. Yeah, always time for tea. What it asks, what about the train station? Do I have old photos of the train station? And I do have a lot of reference for the train station and train stations that are like that. Absolutely, yeah. I actually I really love the reference finding part of it, because yeah, it really helps to come up with exactly what you want. So yeah, I do have old train stations from that time period and the kind of look that I like, and I'm looking forward to that actually. Well, actually, you know what? I can probably show that at some point. Show the one that's in the game, which is pretty much final art, and the photo reference that I used. Oh, Jackface, thank you for telling me. Thank you for the follow. Yes, thank you. Like, I was looking, I couldn't even see it in chat. It should say in chat, but I don't see it anywhere. Sakana Cow, good to see you. Good evening. Twitch dashboard, thank you, Retrograde Tom. Has an activity list. Okay, yeah. Let's go to there. And thank you, Retrograde Tom. Retrograde Tom is an amazing streamer. Let's shout out Retrograde Tom. And good to see you, man. It's always nice to see. I love Retrograde Tom streams. Currently streaming. Oh, something strange. I don't know what the name is. It's a guy with really long legs, and he uses a frying pan to hit people. Tom. That about covers it, but I don't remember it. Okay, let's see. View. Docs. Is it? Oh, activity feed. Sweet. Okay, good. Just pop. Oop, nope. Oh, come on. No. Pop. I didn't need the other one anyway, so I'll tell myself. Thank you. Okay, good. I will refer to that. Okay. Thank you. That'll be helpful. Good. Yeah, check out Retrograde Tom. I like his streams a lot. And he's a fan of the Colonel's Bequest and the Dagger of Amon-Ra. So, you know, he's good people. Okay, yes, so we're working on... So what I'll say is, how about... See, now I can check. I wish it would pop up in Photoshop, but that's definitely asking too much. Oh. Where is it? I heard another noise. What happened? Maybe it takes a little while for that to populate? Don't know. Okay. Sakana Cow, Colonel's Bequest. I think it's on GOG, it's on GOG. I do recommend it because it's hard to get stuck in it. Oh, okay, there we go. Ambrosine. Oh man, 3-month streak. Thank you for the resub. Yeah, I think Sakana Cow, that has, yeah, ditto with everything. I own it. It's been on my to-do list, to playlist. I'm gonna check out the activity feed after this because I feel like it takes a second for that to populate. So just go in here, add those shadows. Oh yeah, before I interrupted myself, I'll show the sculpture stuff. Let's say at 9 I'll show the sculpture stuff because I feel like we just got into the art and just making this come alive with those shadows. And that's when the photo reference is really valuable. You can see I did simplify the building. There are more archways in the reference, but there's like 3 archways and then 4 and then 3. There's a ton and it's just way too much, so I simplified it. At this resolution, I kept it to 2, 2, 2, and 2. So. Are we gonna do you want to know if we're gonna break out the colored crayons? Yeah, this is pretty gray right now, and I would like to liven it up. I don't know if we'll get to that stage today. We'll see. Let's see what else. All these, no, this is definitely extremely simplified. I mean, the architectural features, I knocked out a lot of that stuff, and the windows I tried my best. In fact, kind of want to start placing pixels here and there very softly and making things work. Oh, and see, I gotta add some detail here too. But yeah, the shading is really gonna help bring this out. You know, you can see we're getting some dimensionality there. Yeah, Phoenicia, I really like the Laura Bow games because they are... Oh, thank you. Oh, you know, I'm going to check out the activity feed that Retrograde Tom told me about. Hello, Slater USA. Good to see you. Yeah, it's one of those games where it's very, very, very story-based. And it's not really puzzle-centric, which I kind of like. Slater USA, thanks for the follow. Awesome. Thank you. Yes. And you can kind of muddle your way through the whole game and get to an ending, which I find kind of nice. It doesn't really... it's kind of hard to get stuck in that one. You will stumble into a lot of stuff, but it is a matter of, yeah, playing it again and seeing what you can see and slowly learning over time, you know, what to do and where to be. And I do wish they had made more of that style. Oh, Deluxe Tux, you need Dreamweb in full throttle. Recently finished. Dreamweb is really cool, actually. Not a lot of games do that overhead perspective thing. What did you think of the game? Because I've seen playthroughs of it, and it's kind of neat. But I don't know if I would do the thing. Yes, later USA, the saucy scene from Colonel's Bequest. Yeah, there won't be any such thing in this one, I'm afraid. I don't think we're gonna have any such thing. Yeah, Sakanaka, there is there's a moose head in Quest for Glory 1, there's a moose head in... There's a rhino head in Colonel's Bequest. King's Quest 3 has a moose head. Oh, Slater USA, you say I must put a saucy scene in the game. We'll see. Right now, I'm trying to finish the thing, so I'm gonna concentrate on the essentials, and it would be like a bonus if I get around to it. Oh yeah, let's do some of this. Right now, I'm just using the mouse because this is all very linear, and I mentioned the weirdly the Stylus lags when I'm streaming and doing all this stuff still with this machine. I could probably do some kind of optimization, but I had to turn on some kind of weird feature to get it to work at all, to stream Photoshop at all with this full screen of it. Yeah, Deluxe Tux Dreamweb is surprisingly gritty. You definitely need to walk through. Yeah, I watched Yahtzee, Croshaw, and Gabriel Morton do a playthrough of that. And I've watched it quite a few times, actually. They did some great LPs back in the day. Yeah, second account. Yeah, exactly, the sauce. Yes, I like the word saucy. Quest for Glory 2, yeah, it had a bunch... Oh wait, Quest for Glory 1 had a bunch of mounted heads in the Adventurers Guild thing area. But I don't know if... Quest for Glory 2 had... in their Fighters Guild, I don't know if they had any mounted heads. Could very well have done. I feel like I want to add a bit of shadow in here, too. Yes, it's always time for tea. You're familiar with the demo, I gather. Considering you say that there is a certain tribute Easter egg that the Crimson Diamond has that the Colonel's Bequest also has. Okay, yeah. So Slater USA, there is a Quest for Glory 2 moose head. Yeah. So I put a moose head in the study of Crimson Diamond. Okay, getting there. These windows. What? Oh, I probably... Yeah, I need to fix that. Okay, let's get in there. And the music today might sound a little bit different. it's the same MIDI music I've been playing with all the streams, but I had to find another sound font to play the music in the VLC media player. So it might, I feel like it sounds different, but anyway, I got it to work, so I'm fine with it. I'm just happy that it works. It was one of those things I discovered today when I was setting up. Oops. See, it's amazing that this still does chug. I guess I can just chalk it up to old software. Oh, oops. Opposite of what I want. Oh, did you remember Mega Hammer? You say it's got charm. The vibrato has charm. I only hear it a little bit, but it definitely sounds different. But that's fine. I don't know how Dan would feel about it. Like I mentioned, Dan is the musician for the game, and hopefully next week we'll be able to do a music stream with Dan. And all of the streams can be found on my YouTube channel, which Nightbot will throw up the links. So I won't do it, but yeah, that'll happen. So we do end up streaming music stuff, music dev stuff as well. Dan is using the Roland MT32 synth for the music, which was his idea. I did not make him do that. So that's on him, but it does sound amazing. And if you download and play the demo, you can hear the theme song. There's 3 tracks that Dan has composed in the demo. The theme song when you first launch the game, and there's a dining room cutscene that has a beautiful waltz that he composed, and there's some other music too. Another nice little piece. Oh yeah, good Nightbot, thank you. Yeah, so I do put all the streams on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So for whatever, if you ever want to check those out, the very first art streams I did, I broke down some sort of EGA artist tricks revolving around doing exteriors, and then I did another stream about doing rooms. And I kind of break down some classic adventure game EGA screens, and I kind of talk about some of the stuff they did to produce the effects that they got. Bilkun, really? Dan is the John Williams to Julius George Lucas? I'm Lucas? I don't mind that. I'll take it. Yeah, always time for tea. I agree. I'm surprised that Dan managed to compose with an actual Roland MT32 as well. I cannot believe he went for it. He just went for it though, and I'm not gonna stop him, right? It's just, I think it's fantastic. I could never ask anyone to do that because I didn't even entertain that as a thought. But here we are, and the game will be better for it for sure. Oh, Fura, yeah, you saw that one too? Wow, you were on board from the beginning. Thanks, I appreciate it. Jar Jar does not make an appearance in this game. Yeah, I honestly, Fura, I agree. I think Dan used it as an excuse to buy our Roland MT32 and not the other way around. I'm inclined to agree with you because he did buy the thing, ostensibly for this game, but I can believe that he would have done it. It's just that he needed an excuse. Oh, Kisai Tenshi, they're hard to get. I think Dan got his for like 150 or 120 bucks, I think, on eBay. So I don't know. I've never looked myself, so I have no idea how hard they are to get. Okay, working our way across. Yep. So yeah, in about 10 minutes, I will show some sculpture stuff. Actually, I do have a new cross stitch I'm working on. It's barely gotten started, but I can show that too. I have way too many hobbies. That's a problem. I see that as a problem. Oops. So next week, yes, Dan hopefully will be back on for music. And I do have a few more pictures for Dan to look at. We play kind of This Is Your Life with Dan, because Dan did a lot of touring before the current situation, and I like to show him pictures of himself and ask him if he knows what country he's in. Often he does not know. Yeah, I feel better about putting this up there. Tika, good to see you. Fellow Canadian, Tika. How do we feel about those? Yeah, Flora, you have too many hobbies too? What are your hobbies like? I do cross-stitching, sculpture, polymer clay, jewelry. Those are the active ones right now, I guess. I would like. Oh, you know what? There is a hobby I really want. There is a kind of clay that has recently been invented. It's by a Japanese company. Although I think there's probably like more domestic ones now. There's something called metal clay. And what it is it's clay, but it's got like metal particles in it. So when you fire the clay, the filler in the clay burns off, and you're left with something metal. And it reduces about 10% from when you sculpt it to when you bake it. It reduces about 10% in size, but you can actually sculpt with it like regular clay, and then when you fire it or whatever, it just becomes a metal thing that you can then like polish, buff and polish. And I think that's amazing, and I want to try that. And what's really cool is if you do it only for like jewelry, like little small pieces, you could use like a torch, and that would be enough to heat it. But it has to be a pretty small piece to do that. Or you can get an electric kiln, which is something I also looked at. But yeah, that's a hobby I would eventually like to acquire. Because I also looked at electro plating, and it looks a little. It's not as easy to work with, like in terms of molding something to a shape, like with metal clay. So if you look up metal clay or metal clay kits, they actually sell kits that have everything you need, like a fireproof tile, torch, the clay, and some instructions and all that kind of thing. So it's really cool and a lot easier to do than actual like metal work. Oh, wow, Key said Tenchi, $800. Is that for the Roland MT32 for eBay? Wow, Dan is really good at getting deals. Yeah, Tika, most of the art streams I've done up to this point have been working on this building, and it's been a while. It's been a while. I'm not gonna. But we're getting to a part. We're getting to like a fun part now, where I'm just putting in shadow right now, referring to the photo reference, and it's really starting to feel like a building now, and it's kind of exciting for me. So. Yes, clay technology, Phoenicia. I'm telling you, I was amazed to hear about, and I cannot wait to try it eventually. It's one of those things, like the sculpting I'll show tonight, where after this game launches, whenever that happens, I've got so many things I want to try, but just not yet. And these kits are actually like $100 or something. They're pretty reasonable. Yeah, Deluxe Tux, people are still innovating clay. Yeah, it's amazing. So you can get like silver, you can get like a bronze color, you can get different colored ones too. But it's really something. So if you look up metal clay jewelry, you'll see like you can see process before and after everything. It's like magic. Sucking a cow, you wonder what percentage of this chat is Canadian? I would throw up a poll if I knew how to do that. It's another thing about Twitch I need to learn. But there are a few. Yeah, Sakana, you're Canadian. Tika is Canadian. I'm Canadian. DJ Mega Hammer is Canadian. Justin Paul, when he's here, is Canadian. Always time for tea. Hey, nice. Fellow Canadian. Yeah, Sakana Cow, as your former resident of Toronto, yeah, you're thinking about the Lee Chin crystal. The one that dumps ice on the sidewalk in the wintertime? Yeah. Yeah, it's there. It's a thing. It's all right. It makes it easy to find, I guess. The building. Yeah, it's a shame that that spaceship crash landed into the museum. Yeah. Um, this thing. Oh, oh, I don't want to print. I can't print. That photo doesn't want to open now for whatever reason. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is what they done to my boy, so to speak. Eh, it's alright, I guess. Yeah. Tanda is Canadian in spirit. We'll take it, Tanda. Oh, interesting, Bill. Can you got one of those? It's a disc cleaner. I never knew how those worked. So you put alcohol on it, and it's made of stiff fiber paper, and it cleans the heads, the magnetic heads. Sweet. Ooh, DJ Mega Hammer is recommending Japanese auction sites for better deals on the Roland MT32. Mm-hmm. Phoenicia, yeah, it's very modern. Yeah, and they did make a statement with it, and for sure people talked about it. And my honestly, my biggest complaint is that, yeah, like ice will slide off of it, and I have to put pylons along around the bottom in the wintertime so people don't walk under the area where the ice can slide off of it, which I think is a consideration that should have been made when they were building it. That's really, I mean, from a practical standpoint, it's just not safe, and the pylons underneath are kind of an eyesore. Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a fan of the classical architecture, of course. I feel like, yeah, I want to put a single pixel in here to do this. Yeah. Troy, of Timmy Hortons on your bucket list. Tim Hortons, you know, Canadians are kind of divided over Tim Hortons. It used to be better. They don't make things fresh in store anymore. Do I want that to be dark or light? No, I think I do want it to be dark. Let's do that. Deluxe Tux, you say if our Roland MT32 continues to age and they don't make more of them, Crimson Diamond may end up being the final commercial game to use a real one. It would be a cool claim to fame. And actually, there is something Dan asked me to do that I will show you guys leading up for his next music stream. We did a fun little thing. Well, it was Dan's idea and I did it. And I'm sure you guys will enjoy that. But I'll show that when the time is right, which is not today. When next audio stream, we'll see it. Oh, I need more lines in the windows here. Before you live next to the Salvador Dali Museum has a big weird glass thing fused to the side of the building. That is another thing I'd love to try. I'd love to try glass blowing. Because I love that look. I love glass blowing stuff. Like I love Art Deco vases and stuff. So beautiful. Another thing I'd like to try. So many things. Down here, we need something here. Okay. Oh yeah, down here. Oh, you went to a glass blowing expo, Deluxe Tux? Yeah, I just love watching. It's like magic. There's actually on Netflix, at least in Canada, they had some like competition for glass blowers. I forget what it's called, but they did like a reality show competition for glass blowers, and that was a lot of fun to see. It's kind of like a cooking show competition, except the stakes feel higher because if they don't do things at the right temperature, stuff just shatters, and it's very you know, the temperatures are higher. Stuff can just break, fall off. It's brutal. It was a lot of fun to watch, actually. Dan the man, Dan the band, I mean, excuse me. Good to see you, Dan. Dan, I'm gonna put Dan. I don't know why Dan's links weren't working before. How come that doesn't work? It's kind of annoying me. That should work for Dan's links. Dan, if you want to link your own stuff, you can link. Don't know why it's not working. The other ones are working. Yeah, Dan is the musician for the Crimson Diamond using the Roland MT32 that we were just discussing. Yes. And Dan is, like I said, he's got 3 original pieces composed and more hopefully to come in the future. And what we'll be doing, I don't know, next week, Dan, you think? Yeah, Dan is away today. But hopefully next week, yeah, we can do some music dev and we can do some more chapter beginning and ending stuff, because that's what we were doing last music stream. We worked on a couple pieces that turned out really well. And Dan sent me one of them, and I'll be incorporating that into the game demo. Well, the game overall, but the demo specifically. And it's going well. We talk with chat. They get to weigh in about what they think. We have some musicians in chat too, which is really nice, and they can kind of weigh in too on what they feel Dan should do using language that I don't understand, which is fine. And whatever helps get the best effect is all I'm here for. So that's always nice too. So if you guys have not come to a Dan stream, I can actually shout Dan out, which I should have thought of. Dan, what happens is I tend to do like a pre-stream on those days, and you know, give a dev update, show whatever, and then we raid Dan's channel. So if you can follow Dan or keep with me, both would be good. You won't miss the stream when we do a music stream, because they're a lot of fun, and you can see Dan's whole setup. And you can ask music related questions, which I'm completely unequipped to answer. I feel like this is now at the... Yeah, this is where we are with this. Yeah, Dan, we're not talking about pizza anymore. I just... Your snobbery about pizza disappoints me, so we're just not even going to address it. Bill, oh, you have those 5 1/4-inch Right Protect stickers. I remember those. Were there anything special about them, or they were just, could we have used anything? Because I know I had them too. And Tonda, yes, we also got to see Soundwave. Maybe Dan, if you ask nicely, Dan will show the Soundwave, his Soundwave transformer again, and talk about the price he got for it. Actually, Dan made some recent big box acquisitions that he'll probably want to show on his music stream. Maybe. Yes, and sound. Yes, MT32 and actually working is the sidetrack. Everything else is the main focus. Okay, so it's 9:02. I'm going to show a couple things. If I can okay, so Big Me. Okay, so I am working on more cross stitching. So one of my hobbies is cross stitching. Oh, the lighting's still awful. I'm working on another one. This bottom one, oop, nope. This is going to be Margot's portrait because, wow, the lighting's so bad. Nancy does not have that dark magenta color in her anywhere. So I wanted to test, one of the colors I needed to test was a dark magenta, so I'm doing that with a Margot portrait here. Just got started with that though. Okay. Margot. Dan, she's French. She's French-Canadian. It's Margot. Yeah, the lighting is horrible. Even with this better... If I hold it back here, does that work? Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, yes, we could use anything to write protect 5¼ inch floppies, but it had to be stiff enough. Scotch tape alone would not have worked, but just any kind of label sticker might have worked, Bill Kuhn. I know we had special write protect stickers for the 5¼ Yes, ever I need a ring light. I know that's what people use. And as an artist, it fascinates me actually to think of lighting like that effect, and what that would look like. I know there are some webcams that do come with a ring light, and I don't know. It's kind of a weird effect because it's such. I guess it's instead of like a light panel, it gives like an even light or something, potentially. Okay, and Bilkin says yes, a paper sticker would have worked. Okay, so show the cross stitch. I was going to show sculpture. Okay, so one of my many. Oh yeah, so here is the first. So this is not my work. This is the studio. Well, old studio. She's not here anymore. This is the old studio of a sculptor named Gosha. And I am going to hopefully be able to drop her link for her. Good. Okay, so Gosha is a sculptor who does the most beautiful work. A couple years ago, I was able to go to one of her workshops, which was actually happened over a couple days, 2 or 3 days. And I got to, for the first time since high school, work with clay and sculpt a head and shoulders, a bust kind of thing. And that's kind of, you can see here, that's what she kind of specializes in. And so you can see this is some of her other stuff. You can see it's just beautiful work. And so when I saw that she was doing a workshop, I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. Because I do love working with clay. So this is more views of her workshop with some working drawings and stuff. Some of the close-ups. You can see she paints on them sometimes, and it's just a beautiful effect. And so what we were given was we were each given a station with these photos of a friend of hers, like from all angles. So we would use that as our reference for the time being. No busted jokes, Dan, you're disappointed? I'm disappointed that you're disappointed. We even built a stand for the bust that we were going to do. So she supplied, we paid obviously, but she supplied all the materials, which is really cool. And she walked us through how to build the stand. I still have it. It actually does rotate. Bust dad jokes, Dan? Yeah. Very good. I can't wait to stream with you next week. I hope we can stream. So here it is. And so what you do is you cover it in electrical tape. And this is what the bust sits on. This is the support. Because wet clay is very heavy. And if you don't have a support underneath, it's just going to kind of, eventually just sag. And we were supplied with all the tools. We did not get to keep the tools, but she gave us a list of tools. Yes, Bandan Policar. These are some of the tools. And then what you do is you cover the top with a ball of newsprint. And yeah, so we started building out very basic shapes. And you can see the clay. I don't know, can you see? I'm just going to double check. Yes, good. The clay is, it's this block of gray. It's called low fire white because when you fire it, it ends up being white. Dan is the sauciest one in chat, and he's being extremely tame, so that's good. Bust dad joke. Yeah, we try to keep it clean here. Yes, wash your hands before working with clay. And I did end up taking this my bust home to work on it. And it's actually, if you keep your work area immaculately clean, the wet clay does not throw up dust, really. It's only when it's dry that happens. So if you wipe off everything and keep the rest of it moist, then you're not going to have a problem with that. And so these are just more. You can see here there's the beginning of one. So we started with a very basic shape and elaborated on it. And she did build molds. So that's another thing she would do is, like you can see in the upper right, there are these giant molds that she created as well. And her favorite sculpting books were by Farreau, Philippe and Clarice Farreau. And I have not bought these books, but eventually I do want to. This is all of them. And it's you can see it's a very geometric approach that you then soften. Philippe Farreau. So I think this is mine. This is the start of mine. You can see, yeah, you start with the head and shoulders. and you know, a bit of tilt maybe, or whatever you'd like. You start, you know, with those very basic shapes. And I do have notes of the step-by-step process. I took a lot of photos. Of course, I'm not showing you guys all the photos because that would take too long, but just to document it for myself as well. Fixing some of the jaw, adding in a mouth area. You kind of block that stuff all in. And here's the very beginning of, you know, something. A something. We start building in the eyes, bit by bit. Slowly, you know, it starts taking shape. And then there are a couple ways to do eyeballs. I eventually settled on something different than this, but that was the starting off point. You see, that's weird. It's kind of already getting there, but I took a lot of time and extra effort when I did take this thing home to work on. That I probably overworked it, if I'm honest, but you know. Oh, this is hers. So this is Gosha's sculpture. Dan wants to know what resolution this was sculpted at. Wah wah. So this is Gosha's sculpture. You can see how beautiful it is. She actually was kind enough to tell me the color that. So this is it's actually spray painted, and she told me the color that she used. And I actually went out and bought the exact color to get that same effect. Oh no, this is not mine, Slat. This is Gosha's. This is the lady I went to learn from. And this is another one of hers. And so this one has this spray paint you can buy from like even Home Depot that has patina, and it will give you a beautiful patina effect. So almost like it's a metal, like it's a metal sculpture. Grundislav, good to see you. I was just mentioning you earlier when I talked about getting Photoshop CS2 and pressure sensitivity to work on my new machine, my Microsoft Surface Pro 2. Grundislav, Francisco Gonzalez, he is making Rosewater, which he recently debuted a demo at Gamescom. And he uses the same stuff I use. He uses Photoshop CS2. He uses Adventure Game Studio. And he's been at it actually a heck of a lot longer than I have. He's made like a dozen games by now, I think. So he definitely knows what he's about. And he streams tomorrow in the afternoon, Wednesday afternoons. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Happy Crimson Tuesday. That's what today is. Tomorrow is Western Wednesdays with Grundislav, and I try to go in and see him and do his thing when I can. Yeah, oh my gosh, Francisco, getting pressure sensitivity to work in CS2 was a nightmare, and I lost hope quite a number of times. It was, and just getting the creative suite to work at all, I was very angry for a lot of last week. But eventually I did get it to work, so happy ending. My God, though. Because the thing is when you have a legit copy of the thing, and what you want is, all I want is what I had before, and what I want is asking so little. And to think that I can't have those things that I had before, that is still so little, but still what I want, maddening. Yes, Cappy Crimson Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know, actually, Francisco, what do you work on? Like, what is your hardware like? And how hard was it for you to get the pressure sensitivity to work? I actually have been meaning to ask you what you actually use to work on. So here it is. Yeah, this is my house. I brought this thing home after the workshop because I was not done with it. I wanted to fiddle with it more. So I ended up fiddling with it quite a bit. And here are two tools that I ended up making myself out of polymer clay. I had some spare scrap polymer clay, so I decided with wire and some scrap clay I was going to make these handles. You got a Dell PC super low spec. Are you ever planning on upgrading? So here's the part, I feel like I should have stopped here, but I kept going and going. And I will just say, the ending result, I'm not 100% pleased with, but I feel like it's a really good first effort. And I have a whole block of extra clay that I do want to use when I finish the game. I know I should have stopped here, but I did not stop here. I kept going and going. So this is the point where I wish I had stopped, because I really like how it looks here. Meepian, hello, welcome to chat. Yeah, I'm just showing a sculpture that I did a couple of years ago, in one of my many hobbies. Yeah, eating with my stories about upgrading may not convince him to change. Yeah, oh, thanks always time for tea. You say that you like how this looks. I like how this looks too. And you can see she's kind of has like a cloth around her, and that's to keep her moist. That's actually not part of the sculpture. Spoilers also. So here, yeah, I keep working on it. Just keep developing it. Yes, let's do. It's going to be a little bit like those old paintings that got mangled. Those Jesus paintings that get mangled upon restoration. It's going to kind of get to that point. I think the end result is okay. But I do want to do another one. So we're just working there. We're getting, I'm trying different ways of doing the eyes, fill them back in again. Yeah, Meepian, oh my gosh, clay is such a pleasure to work with, like real clay. It is a dream to work with. Oh, I see. Okay, so you recently upgraded. Your previous PC, Grindislav, died 2 years ago. You had to rush out and get a replacement. Yeah, it can be done. Like, I got it working, but, ooh. Yeah, so I got a spray bottle. I got to keep this thing moist, the whole time I'm working on it. And actually, what ended up happening is I ended up working on it so long that the cloth I was using to wrap it with every day, and then you'd also wrap it with like a plastic sheet. But the cloth started to, you can see it's starting to like deteriorate. That's how long I was working on this thing. And you're just working through it. We're working through it. I built her out. I broadened her shoulders. I think we're getting to the point where I started to dry it. It needs to dry for not that long. It has to get leather hard, because the next step is the scary part, which is hollowing it out. So you can see there's a metal ruler through her. You gotta cut all the way through. Because you can't fire it like this. There's way too much clay. It's way too thick. You gotta hollow it out to about like an inch, half an inch in thickness. So yeah, you gotta just go for it. And Gosia did show this step in a video, and I did take notes again, so I was able to, she kind of taught us all the way through. So yeah, I'm hollowing this thing out. You can see, you kind of just have to go for it. Kind of scary. So here it is, hollowed out. You can see there's the ball of newsprint that was there. That's supposed to help it to be easier to remove the whole stand part. It ended up being extremely hard to hollow this thing out, because I've been working on it so long, and even though I'd been keeping it moist, it had hardened and dried quite a bit. And I took 2 solid days of work to get this thing off it and hollowed. Well, no, Meepian, I didn't use the ruler to cut her in half. I used it to kind of wedge her apart when I actually, because it was hard to get. I think I used what should I use? Like, did I use X-Acto knife? Well, I must have used something. Maybe I did use the ruler. I don't remember anymore. Grindislav, you got a D in ceramics? You did ceramics? Nice. Did you do like sculpting, or did you do pottery stuff? So this is, yeah, it's kind of freaky to see this step. Oh, good notification. Let's. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Godswhip, and Nakamas. Thank you for the follows. Yeah, this is, yeah. So you can see I finally got to the electric stick, electric tape stick, eventually. Yeah, Tonda, this was horrifying for me to do. Yeah. This was hard to chip away at, because you can see it's already hardened quite a bit. Yeah, Meepian, there is a matter of, everything is fixable, is what, we were told, and is true. Because you'll see where I hollow it out too far in a few places, but you can fix it. It is eminently fixable. Oh, Grindislav, you had to take it in college? I'd love to have gone to that college. I didn't even take it in college, and I went to art school for like 4, 5, 6 years. Yeah, you got to get a pillow to lay your face in, because you don't want to. So you can see, yeah, I did go too far. With the hollowing, I punched right through. But at this point, like, you haven't fired anything, so it's still kind of like a live material. You can go back and patch this stuff up. So don't worry too much about that, because, yeah, it does happen. Yeah, so here we go. More. You got to hollow. And And then after you've done hollowing, you gotta use like a puncher to punch more holes in it. Because the last thing you want is there to be any air bubbles in this at all. Because if there are, and you fire it, the hot air will expand, the whole thing will just shatter. Even with sculpting sounds far more useful and interesting than the theory of computation. I doubt it, but it did probably more interesting. I don't know how useful it is though. Yeah, so here's me punching. You gotta just, there's so many things, because the last thing you want is this thing to shatter after all this time. So here you can see it's getting lighter, it's drying. I did patch her nose up and other places that I did punch through. And this is the next step. So I did like you gotta let this dry for like a long time. And after it's dried, then you can take it to get fired. Is acupuncture for sculpture exactly, Meepian? Yeah, it just the whole time, and you want to do a good job. So I did take this to like a place that fired it for me. And then what I actually did was I contacted Gosha again because there were finishing steps after firing it that I wanted her to help me with. So I actually went back and just did like private lessons with her a couple times to get this all done. So here's epoxy sculpt, which dries super crazy hard. And you can see when I did fire it, I did get cracks at the bottom. I got some cracks. There were some cracks up in her forehead. So yeah, you can see that it's much lighter in color now. It's been fired. So after it's been fired, you go back and you patch it up with epoxy sculpt on all the places that require it. Oh, thank you, Slash Studio. You say it still looks good. And so what we end up doing is after it's been hollowed, we need to we're going to fill it back in with something. And what we used was this foam it stuff. It's a rigid foam. It's pretty light. And you mix the two together and you pour it all in. You fill it all up, because what it does, it kind of, as a ceramic that is, maybe an inch thick, half an inch thick in places, it's kind of fragile. So when you fill it with something that will expand a little bit, it's going to give it that cushioning that it needs to be a little hardier. And yeah, we leveled it, all that. Well, she leveled it. She this is all her studio, back at her studio. Months later. And the very finishing part is like the sealant to give it a nice flat bottom. And yeah, we spread it around, all that. Let that dry and harden. So I left this with her. I came back another day to let that all set. But you can see one of the problems is after firing, the bottom edge here by her shoulders is it's not flush with the flat surface. She asked me, do you want to do something about that? Do you want to make it be flush with the surface? And I said, yeah, totally. So I came back and we worked on that. Yeah, Grenislav, yeah, the filler looks like scrambled eggs. I thought it kind of looked like mac and cheese. Oh, that's too bad, Lux Talks. Yeah, I don't like classes that are not useful, but classes about understanding culture would have been good had it not been dumbed down and gutted. For sure. So what we end up using is the same stuff that we sealed the bottom with and just painted in. So you can see the saran wrap put underneath. You start filling in, you just push that stuff underneath to fill that area. And you let it all kind of dry and harden so that what you get at the end of it is a really nice edge. You smooth it with the blade. And here it is actually. Wow, that really is a real jump. So here it is after it's been, you can see how beautifully flush it is with the surface. And I used the same color she did, the spray paint, to spray paint the whole thing. Did I prime it? I don't remember if I primed it. I don't remember. Okay, I see. Okay, Deluxe Duck. So not a great course overall. So here she is. So this is what I loved about the spray painting technique that Gosha showed me was it gives this beautiful pebbled texture, and I loved the texture. It's kind of like irregular, scatters the light really beautifully. So here she is, kind of all done in her finished state. And again, just another close look at the texture involved with that. And angles. Yeah, granite, like potentially eaten with. Yeah, maybe something like that. That's the 360. And here it is in different lighting. You can see just the way the light scatters across that surface. I really, really love. So I think that's it. Yeah, so that's the end of it. But that's the whole thing from pretty much beginning to end. And so what I have is I actually brought her down to show. So you can see the bottom. Pretty heavy actually. So I do want to do this again after the game is finished. I've got, like I said, I've got another 10-pound block of clay, and I want to go through this whole thing again and do this again because it was so fun. So that's the craft for today, and I don't know if Dr. Mikachu snuck in or not, but I don't know what she'll show to. Hopefully she'll have some kind of figurines or something she has. Oh, it's heavy. Okay. Yeah, you know what? This thing is, judging from the weight of this thing, it's probably like 8 pounds, 9 pounds maybe. Pretty heavy. But yeah, I'm gonna link Gosha's work again. Yeah, so that's the lady I went to for the workshop, and yeah, so I went. It was a group workshop for over a few days, and then I actually got private workshop with her to finish it because when I brought it home, I was still working on it. Grunislav, I should sneak that bust into TCD. Yeah. She could, she's heavy, you know, we could do that. Yes, looks like that Dr. Mixture is not here, but I will let her know if she asks, if she wants to know. Yeah, 4 kilograms. Yeah, yeah, like I said, okay, so that's just another hobby that I have. Let's go back to Photoshop and get back to work. I think, is that everything I had to show today? In terms of crafts. I feel like it is. Although, I feel like I probably want to show something else today. Don't know what though. I got other stuff. Another polymer clay thing, maybe? But anyway. Oops. But it makes me feel a little better to know that that Grunislav has the same terror of upgrading that I do, because just, you know, it comes down to, you know, oh my gosh, you feel like you're just losing so many hours or days of productivity. That's how I felt last week. Just every hour I was trying to get stuff to work and thinking I'd done it to myself. But I got there. I feel really lucky that I got there. Dan, any discount CD-ROMs? Nothing more than I had last time. I haven't really gone digging around here, so nothing really. All I have is the decidedly non-discount CS2 discs that do not work anymore. Thanks, Adobe. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. It's funny because some of the stuff had no problem installing and some of it did. And I have actually Macromedia Dreamweaver I reinstalled onto this machine, and I had zero problem installing that. I didn't have to go to some shady website to find whatever. I actually I installed from the CD my Macromedia Dreamweaver. So it can happen, but they just didn't want it to happen that way, which is annoying. Okay, so if you know what? Yeah, my new latest hobby. climbing up the CN Tower using nothing but plungers. I actually, you know, it's funny because I'm in Toronto. I don't know if I've ever been up the CN Tower. To tell you the truth, because it costs like $30 or something to go up there or something. I don't even remember. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. It's high, I guess. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's cheaper if you take the stairs, because it's like 120 flights or something. I don't know. It should be free if you take the stairs. But I'm sure they charge still. And I'm like, it's expensive. And we have an aquarium here too. It's called Ripley's Aquarium, and I have not been there because it's expensive too, which is bad. I should go. Oh, Dr. Mikachu! Yes! You just missed. I'm going to quickly show you what you missed though, so you know. Dr. Mikachu, I'm actually going to do a shout out for Dr. Mikachu. Yes, you just missed it, but I will show you what I showed. Dr. Mikachu does amazing game dev streams. Oh, Dr. Mikachu's been to Ripley's Aquarium. Oh, one in the States? Okay, not the Toronto one? Oh, and Anna, good to see you. Oh, good to see you, Anna. Okay, DJ Mega Hammer, you're in Saskatchewan, you've never been to that hill? So, Dr. Mikachu, I showed, one of my other hobbies, I showed my sculpture that I made, out of clay. And I went to a workshop and got step-by-step instruction on how to do this. I made this bust. So yeah, I don't know. I was saying, oh, I wonder if you got some cool figurines to show or something. So there's the bottom. Yeah. Oh, it's so heavy. Okay. Oh, thanks, Dr. Mikachu. Yeah, it was my first time doing any sculpture since high school, and I did this 2 years ago, I think, a year and a half, something like that. Oh, thanks, Anna. Yeah, so I want to do it again. It's so relaxing to work on, especially if you're working like low res stuff, you're working 2D. To do something 3D it feels really good because you feel like you're not making stuff up in a way, as we are always with 2D art. To work in 3D it's like using other parts of the brain, and it feels really good. Yeah, /3, yeah. When it's Dan's stream, I should just put the bust up. She can stand in for me. To go up the Space Needle is like $50. Yeah, no thank you. Oh, it's not even that tall. Yeah, Grindeslav, you wanted to go up, but it was way too expensive. Yeah, like I said, same with CN Tower. I don't even know. Last I checked, it was $30. It's probably more expensive now. Like, what are you gonna do? You just sat near it. Oh, and go Julia or go bust. Tokyo Retro Games, welcome to stream. Oh yeah, the time difference kills a lot of people for sure. Yeah, so I do post VODs on my YouTube channel, but I know it's not the same. Oh, Grindel's shaming me. He did go up the CN Tower. When were you in Toronto, man? Always time for tea. Thanks for coming. Good luck with work today, and it's a pleasure. Yeah, Mosmas, it is like, so right now, the line and the shadow is pretty much done. So I'm going to start doing maybe some fun stuff, I'm hoping. Dropping some dithering in, maybe give it some dimensionality. This back wall here, the wall on the side is kind of boring. Maybe I should do something about that. Oh, Tokyo Retro Games, thank you for coming, even though you're at work. That's amazing. I appreciate that. I know like the time difference is not that great for people, but I do appreciate it. So what we're gonna do is let's take a look at some more reference to get idea of color and texture. I mean, texture is pretty good on this photo, but Here's one of the entrances. This is the western entrance for the realm. Oh, the windows are different. That's not going to work. Yeah, most of the wall does need some ideas. Okay, so here are some of the windows close up, so we can see it's kind of like a yellowish gray brick. So I don't know what we can do about that. But I do have a modern. Judith Butler's Lover, good to see you. Yeah, a lot of anatomy or representative art books for 2D artists recommend doing sculptures to get better. I can totally see why. It's amazing to work that way. It's amazing to see something like from all different directions. So here we get some. I think this is a pretty good view of the type of texture. It's going to be challenging. We might have to do very complicated dithering to achieve something like this, and it might not even be worth it. We might try though. I'm thinking brown and let me see what colors I have at my disposal. That many. I might do yellow and with yellow dither on the light gray. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to apply a dither oh nope, that's not it. A dither texture to, not that. There's something that, Quest for Glory 2, the style of the dither that they do there is kind of neat actually. What they do is they will dither a lighter color on top of a lighter color, and what that does is it kind of makes the resulting color, combination of color kind of muted. So why don't we try that? Why don't we actually, I'm gonna actually, I need to just open this up all the way and pick out the yellow. Oops. Pick out the yellow. Go here. Just do this for now. And then knock that back again. Okay, great. I'm going to try yellow dither on light gray. We'll see if that gives us a warmer feel to the stone, which is kind of what Shapir did a little bit of. Shapir's plaza was predominantly white and yellow dithering, which made it feel like sunny, but not yellow. It's SCTV. And Phoenicia, yeah, dithering is basically like using screen tones. And I mentioned before in a previous stream, I used to do freelance illustration, and I would do silkscreen printing, and I'd actually use like screen tone to get another, like a dithered color in a way. So why don't we just try a little bit of that on this surface? So this is where we just kind of start playing around with stuff. Is that going to work? Is that not going to work? It's very bright. It might be too much. It might be good if used sparingly, potentially. Or maybe not at all. It's a very bright color. Yeah, it's probably not going to work the way I want it to work, but why don't we scrub some of it back and just, like we were doing, break it up a bit, right? Why don't we break it up a bit? It's probably not going to work, but this is where we get into just some experimentation to see what will work, what doesn't work. And it's a lot like it's a lot like screen dots. It's a lot like can almost feel like pointillism and all those types of effects, because you just want to see what we can get out of this. Maybe we need to take away more. See what we can get. recognizing that it's probably going to be not the effect that we want, but you never know. This might be something that we abandon and go to just make the darker areas darker. What about brown? And this is why I keep this little palette open, is if I don't have all 16 colors in the piece, I'll have a little palette open just so I have that on hand easily. And so why don't we just try the brown? I'll do the Butler's Lover. Right now I'm just using the mouse because it's not really very much drawing like. I do have a Microsoft Slim pen that has a charge cradle, so I don't have to worry about batteries. But yeah, right now this is all very picky stuff that I don't really need to use the how's that? The brown, is the brown horrendous? That's not bad. That might do the trick. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. To further integrate it, what we're going to have to do, let's try some brown shadow. Brown. Okay, let us see. And judging by how the windows, why don't we, oops. Let's see. So it can be, it's too brown. Is that not going to do the trick? It's entirely possible that this is the wrong way to do this. The wrong colors. Why don't we sink in, why don't we get in some dark gray? See what that does. Oops, not dark gray. Oh, that's another thing I don't like. The Windows button is where the Alt key is usually, I feel like, and I keep pressing it. Oh yeah, you know something else we could try? That is a possibility to try. I mentioned complicated, oh, no, that's not what I want. Oh no, that is what I want. We can try complicated dithering, but I don't think that's gonna work here. Yeah, colors. This is where it's fun, but also there's a lot of experimentation that has to go into this, because you don't know what's going to work, what's not going to work until you see it. So, let's try this. Oh, Deluxe Talks, you like seeing the experimentation phase? I hope it's not, boring for people. See, that kind of, oops. Don't know if it's going to do what we need it to do. Yeah, I might just leave it gray. Why don't we try dark gray? Might be too dark. But it is a warm building, but it's one of those colors. It's just tough. You think Chad agrees there's a full house and everyone is quiet? I just assume no one is here. I don't know how many viewers I have right now because I don't have that up. Oh, thanks, Anna. I'm glad you find these informative. I'm going to try a few things. So this is when we start duplicating some of these layers and just trying different versions. So what if we make that all gray? Is that going to be too dark? Probably. Probably. Is it it's rusticated? Rustic. Give it some texture. It's too smooth otherwise, isn't it? Let's turn off that brown. Yeah, I don't hate that. Yeah, Mousemas, maybe it's best to use elsewhere the brown. Yeah, I could see it being used on the side, like you say. Yeah, I actually like the dark gray here. Come to think of it. Let's see how... I want us to see the original reference, because yeah, so all of those are going to be darker. So yeah, the interesting thing, yeah, is I learn always in pixel art, and the dither here that I put on the inside of this arch is regular, so it's the darkest this dither can be. But because I broke up the rest of it with like randomness, the same dither can look lighter in one place and darker in another place, just because I've taken away some of the pattern. So I feel like that's actually not bad. That might be the trick. Let's see. Okay, so why don't we keep going with that? Okay, and was I smart? Yes. Okay, put these on 2 separate layers. Nice. Gray dither. Yes, Mouse, you like the gray dither? I'm a fan of it too. So why don't we? I'm gonna just fill in the rest of this window with the gray dither. Oops, and see where that takes us. Because I feel like that was the right choice. Yep. Maybe not one of them, just to give it some dimension. Maybe not one of these areas. That's not bad at all, though. I don't mind that at all. Yeah. Okay. Good. So why don't we? Okay. So what is the? Let's finish off this. Actually, let's finish off this arch and see, and then finish off this whole section and see what we think. Because I'm kind of liking it. So the dither can actually, if you get creative with the dither, it can actually do a couple jobs. 2 different tones with the same dither. There we go. I think we're getting somewhere with this. Oh, registered 99. I'm glad that you're finding this. Ambersine, how did you make a gray Nancy Maple emoji? That's fantastic. But registered 99, I'm glad you find this inspiring just to see me go through this process of trial and error. Because I was kind of hoping, this... I'm always worried about this being boring, So this is the one where we're going to rusticate, like break up this dither a bit to give it that brick pattern almost, but then taking away most of it, but leaving that suggestion so that it does feel like it's lighter than the part in the arches. So let me do some of that. So for something like this where it's more sketchy, I might go ahead and use the Stylus, because it's not that regular straight lines. So let's just get in there. Am I even doing anything? Yeah, it is. But yeah, like I said, it's weirdly laggy. It's weird to think that this incredible machine that I've upgraded to still lags so much. Like, it might still be better just to paint out like this still. So let's break up some of this. And even here, use some of that. But getting the Photoshop to screen capture, I needed to do a workaround where I had to turn something off. Like I'm not, there's this NVIDIA chip in this thing, but I can't use it to do screen cap with Photoshop or something because it just doesn't display. So that's not good. Dan, I did not know that was a thing. Gray Nancy. How do you like that? Okay, so yeah, I feel like this is closer to what we're looking for. So let's see, what's tonally, this is lighter. So we might leave the bottom part, but I do need to fill in. Yep, okay, we do need to fill in this part. And this part also needs to be filled in. What? Yes. Although that part hits the light pretty good, but anyway, at this resolution you're not going to have that distinction of this angled area. Okay. Great. Tom, good to see you, Tom. Tom made Feria Darls, which is another Adventure Game Studio joint, and uses Adventure Game Studio. Tom, do you use Adobe Photoshop? Do you use CS2, or do you what imaging program do you use? Are you like me and Grundislav, where we're both just CS2 ride or die and Adventure Game Studio stuff? $900 channel points to Grayscale Nancy. Woo! Woo! Oh, GPU isn't used until CS4? Okay, Kisa Tenchi says? Okay. Yeah, apparently, nice Tonda rolling with Gray Nancy. Is it like Gray Hulk where it's cooler? Gray Nancy's cooler? What is happening? I don't know on Clone Stamp. Yeah, apparently there's something called September or something. I got an email from Twitch and there's like September, it's like a discount on subscriptions, something. So there's that. I don't know. That's a thing. MCGA Nancy. Okay, see, yep. I feel, you know what? I do see, in the reference photo, in the bottom area where the bricks are bigger, I do see shadow being cast. So what I'm probably going to do is I'll probably drop some shadow at the bottoms of those to give it some dimension. Oh, 30% off subs. Nice. Cool. And Tom, if you want to drop your Steam link to, your steaming link to Fairy Darls, please do. Nice. And I heard some notifications. I'm going to check that because I hated missing the one last stream. Fidelius, thank you for the follow. Sweet, appreciate it. Oh, whoops, don't want that. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to go in here, and it's actually the light being cast by the mortar projecting from the stone. So that means the shadow should be at the bottom here of that. So it should be here. So we're going to just do that. Let's see if this makes any difference or if this is just a horrible mistake. Tom, you got the Nancy with the shades. Yeah, like I said before, I'm really pleasantly surprised by how well that works. Yeah, this is just mouse. This is not hard to do with mouse. Okay, so how does that look? Yeah, not bad. I don't mind that. And the top, I feel like the ledge for this other side should be gray as well. Dark gray dither. Yep. Dan's got a Nancy parade going. 3 cool ones and 3 like undead Nancys. Very nice. So yeah, look at this. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I even simplified it even more because you can see there's this extra bit that I completely did not do on here. I wonder if I can just do that with dark. Can I just cheat? Because that's actually an extra side to that brickwork that I completely overlooked. But can I just do one single line that goes all the way through? That might not be a bad idea. Yeah. Gives it more especially as we darken up the face of the building with the dithering. I might need to darken some other stuffs to make those bits stand out. Eden Waith, thanks for the, is that, I don't know the words for this. I'm unclear on the terminology. Yeah, here's the whole mess. Thank you for the cheer. Thank you for cheering 100 bits. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so you can see actually, I don't know if you can see the web captioner, maybe not, but the web captioner, it's capturing a whole heck of a lot more, but I only leave a few lines up. Anna, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for chatting. I appreciate it. Tom, yeah, so it's kind of a good question. Is the building actually gray? It's kind of like a warm gray if we look at these reference photos. It's warm gray and EGA is kind of like cool gray. So it was kind of, I tried a little bit of yellow dither, but it was just too much. So I'm gonna just let the gray be and just make it work that way. Because it was way too bright to do. Yes. Yeah, it's going to be too bright. I'm just thinking of a bunch of different potential things I could do, but I don't think Whoa! How did that... I'm sorry that was so loud. I don't have that one volume controlled because I don't know what that is. Oh, wow. Thank you, Ambersine, for the gift subscription. That is one of the notifications that I don't have an animation for. I only have 3 that I've prepped. So I'm so sorry if that blew you guys' ears out because I did not prep for that one. First time it's ever happened. Thank you, Ambersine. There was a present box when that one appeared. Okay, so yeah, that must just be a built-in one, Kisai. Yeah, I haven't. There's some built-in ones in Streamlabs. Oh yeah, I was gonna try one other thing. Let's try some. I don't think this is gonna work. But what we can do is I'm going to select the gray in all layers, the light gray, and not contiguous. What if we... This is a bad idea probably, but we're just experimenting, so why don't we just try to paint in... Yeah, that's not gonna work, is it? Nope. Nope. Let's go back. What if I do it that way? Oh, you know what? It's not gonna work anyway, because this layer's not the right layer. Dr. Mikachu, thanks for the Prime subscription. Oh my gosh, thank you. I want the yellow to work, it's just not gonna work. It's too bright. It's not gonna stop me from trying though. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh, Tonda, that's glorious. I love the rainbow wings on Nancy. Sweet. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm still not clear what a hype train is. So, I apologize. Oh, Tom, and thanks for the bits. Thank you. Oh, you guys are great. And Dan always likes to mention that I owe him a Coke Zero, because he's the one who suggested that we do streaming. So, yeah. And it's been great. Yeah, because Dan is a hustler. I mean that in a good way. Dan knows how to, make things work, and is always looking for the future. So. Thank you, Dr. Mikachu. Just as a question, is that like crazy loud? Should I fix that? Because I can fix it now. It's not a big deal. Thank you, Dr. Mikachu, for gifting a sub to Furore. That's awesome. Thank you. I just hope it's not like blowing anyone's ears out, because if it is, we can and will fix it. Okay, good. Thank you. Good. It's just really loud for me, but that's fine. Thank you, guys. Yeah, as long as it's not like killing your ears, that's fine. What if I could just no, it's too dark. Yeah, I can't do that. So, actually, this is probably too dark too for this. But I will break into those bits. This just seemed right. Did I mess this up? Yep. Oh well, doesn't matter. Okay, even Dan says, okay, the sound guy says it's loud but not crazy loud. That's fine. It gets my attention, so that's probably a good thing. Oops. Is this one right? Yep. Oh, it's on the wrong thing. Gooseegg PT, the arms, the flexing arms also work quite well for Nancy. I think she would appreciate that. Just break this up a bit. Yeah, on Dan's, I think the sound is like, we gotta work on Dan's sound too. Okay, Dr. Mikachu. That is amazing. The torches and the sunglasses. Dr. Mikachu is like a Twitch wizard. She can do everything with Twitch. And I get ideas from watching her do her stuff all the time. Because I still have very little idea what the heck I'm doing with it. Except having fun, which I guess is the most important part. But this is where it's facing and it's brighter, so what I'm actually thinking, like I like watching other Twitch streamers, because it's entertaining but also educational. Dan, yours is problems, or do I need to fix anything? Let me know if I need to fix anything. I'm feeling like for this plane here, this bank of whatever this is, I might just stick with the solid dither, because it is receiving shade. So I'm probably, from a value standpoint, going to keep that as is. But this is pretty bright, so I'm actually going to take away a lot of this. But this part is going to probably stay solid. because we can... Deluxe Tux. Wow, thank you for gifting the subs. Holy cow. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That's insane. Thank you. Oh, sweet. Thank you so much, Deluxe Tux. Deluxe Tux been here since the beginning. I really appreciate that. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. And if I do flinch, it's because, yeah, it is really loud for me, but that's, like I said, it's good that it's loud. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, Twitch has been good for so many reasons. It's really been good for socializing. It's good for getting the work on... No, it's too dark. It's good for getting some work on the game done, like on this intro stuff that I wouldn't be touching otherwise. I'd be working on other game stuff. So I'm glad to be doing it. So yeah, that kind of knocks it back a bit, that one section there, because yeah, like it's angled away from the light. So that's denser, it's darker, it's pretty subtle. When Dr. Mikachu's even good, her emoji game is strong, I gotta say. Nancy with the axe and the sunglasses. That sounds like a Clue thing, right? Nancy with the axe and the sunglasses. That's who I guessed in my Clue game. Yeah, and Dr. Mikachu, you were nervous when you started Twitch about mean people? Many more cool people? Yeah, I gotta say I feel the same way, and I do think in general there are many more cool people. Yeah, that's holding up. That's holding up rather well. Although, yeah, I need to... The brickwork there needs dimension, and what it's probably going to end up being, looking at the reference here again, always referring back to the reference. And there should be solid shadow there, I think. So this is where we get into the details, where all the other streams of this particular piece have been like an amazing grind to get to doing the fun part, which is like details. So thank you for staying with me as long as you guys have. My instinct is to actually give the brick some dimension there. Oh my gosh, is this O Canada done in weird squishy MIDI? That's weird. That's... Yes, Nancy and the Shining, Judith Butler's lover with the axe. That is a really weird MIDI version of O Canada. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, DJ Mega Hammer, yeah, like, Dan, what do you think of the new sound font? Like, I found this sound font because today, when I started doing my testing for tonight's stream, VLC was not playing my MIDI stuff. And so I found the sound font, which I thought was the same one, but it does not sound like how it used to sound, so I guess it must be a different one. It's a little heavy on the portamento. Yeah, it just sounds different, that's all I know. I don't have the words for it. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll look for the proper sound font. Nancy Maple and the quest for the sound font or something, maybe. It's a bit much. It sounds like squishy, in a way. I knew enough to turn off the reverb on it, though, because it was just out of control. Yeah, what is portamento, Dan? Ooh, Edenwaith's got a Welsh lesson for us today. The Welsh word tost means toast in English. Oh, portamento means one note sliding into another, Judith Butler's lover says. I see. So it's a bit much? I don't know, I took all the effects on it that were applied to it down, but that's just the font I have, I guess. So we were doing shadow on... Yes, we're doing shadow here. What? Oh, it is just lagging. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's a little weirder, but that's fine. Oh, whoops, wrong side of the stone. It's this upper side. Okay, good. Actually, not the front one. Dan, you're telling me to stop using sound fonts? What should I be using? Should I be using a different MIDI player, maybe? Okay, Kisa Tenchi says, okay, so you use Fluid. I think I'm using some Fluid synth right now. This for sound font or something. If you want it to sound chiptune or MT32, you need one of those fonts. Okay. So maybe I'll look for something like that. Oh, good. Daniel sent me something. Will there be Nancy spin-offs? Tom Simpson of Feria Darls would like to know. And I've already started thinking about a sequel. I have some ideas, for sure. And yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm going to need to, it's not in the reference, but I need to keep this consistent, so I'm going to make the top one also. Magnum PI and Murder, She Wrote. Yeah, I got something in mind. +1 for Munt. Is Munt? Can I just play stuff easily with it? Okay, so yeah, Munt is a MT32 emulator, but is it something that is easy for someone like me to just plug in some MIDI files so I can just play stuff? And is it like lightweight, etc.? Oh, okay. Kisai Tenchi says you can download as a standalone player. Nice. Okay, I might have to look into that. Because, yeah, this sounds weird to me, too. Like, I can barely hear it. I keep it really low for me, but for what I can hear, it's bizarre. We'll see. Work in progress. It's always a work in progress. There's so much to learn in streaming and from sound. Oh, I really like this song too, but it's got weird squidginess in it this time. It sounds super adventurous, this track. Yeah, Dan, you say the sound font is bizarre. I thought I did the same thing as I did last time to make it work, but the sound is completely different, so I don't know. Yeah, Dan knows enough that he has to kind of from my perspective of being someone who's not that particularly technical and certainly not that musical, it has to be something that I can do easily. But it is like, ugh. And of course, another challenge would be, it's like this does not just dissolve into a bundle of undifferentiated shapes. So that's something else we have to look out for. So we'll start, when I lay down all this dithering and these dithering bits, you know, going to look back, we might have to adjust some stuff. Like, yeah, I'm going to need that solid line again that I put down for that first area to help differentiate this area. Oops. Oh, it's such a shame because I really do like this track. Yeah. All right, Dr. Mikachu, tell us what's for dinner when you come back. Deluxe Tux, what am I planning to do for the sky in this piece? Beautiful, fluffy clouds. We will see. We will see. Because I would love it to be a beautiful sunny day. And yeah, the reference has beautiful, fluffy clouds. So I don't even know if this is going to be the color of the sky that I use. Or, you know what, the beautiful, fluffy clouds will probably be a mixture of dark and light cyan. Sounds like I downloaded a synthwave SF2 file. I don't know what I did, Dan. I made it work, and then I said I'm done. Ooh, Dan. Yeah, Dan's been playing with Pico 8, so maybe he can show some of that next week. So, Dan, are we on for next week? Is that confirmed? You can do a music stream? Yeah. So, Maximus, you feel like, yeah, the details being a bit lost? Yeah. Entirely possible. I'm actually thinking what I'll do is, yeah, like maybe taking away some of this dithering here. Yeah, it's just a matter of a little adjustments. So yeah, this face is gonna need maybe taking some of that off. Yeah, it's a matter of just seeing, readjusting, seeing. Make that, yeah, making the shape stand out again. And if we're really crazy, we might start dropping some like black in maybe here or there, if we really need another color to help differentiate. Oops, that's not what I wanted. So there's a lot of possibilities, but let's just lay down everything consistently for now and then see where it takes us. And if we need to incorporate some tricks, we'll do some tricks. Because it's all, you know, it's all what the eye can see, how we feel. I think this is definitely going to need shadow. And then this bit is going to need to be brought back up. Yep. Right. Okay, so Dan is semi-confirming for next week. Next week, hopefully, will be a music stream. Forward-leaning columns, perhaps front side should be light, sides darker than everything else. Yeah. We might go darker. Yeah. Might go darker for it. Because, yeah, it's getting lost a little bit. So what, instead of, I'll start painting this stuff in. Just a bit here and there. Like, not, like, very sparingly now from this. Because from this, in this area, the distance is actually quite far from the eye. So you wouldn't see the texture of the bricks that much anyway. So taking that into account, we might just stick a couple bits in, you know, and then the far area might be just totally light. So we will lose that detail. And then generally higher contrast would be in the front, so it's something else we can explore. Judith Butler's lover, good night. 4:20 in the morning where you are. Good night. Have a good sleep. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Yeah, just do this. Oh yeah, this actually has to be full on. Actually, this does too. And this one too. So, and as I see this, what I might end up doing is the very closest part of the building, I might actually drop in some lines for the brick, solid lines, to differentiate it from the back. Oh, Phoenicia, you liked how Hergé did textures on distant buildings? Yeah, I love Hergé's work. I love that style, that just the line weight is all uniform, the color is just gorgeous. And I will have to look at the textures he laid onto the buildings because I can't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, he's a tremendous visual influence. Yeah, so this is going to be, I'm going to start really lightening it up at the back. Yeah, it's not going to start just little bits irregularly. It's true. Yeah, I zoom out and lean back from the screen, see the dither effect. Game will be played up close. This screen, I guess it depends on how big people are playing the game. I guess they'll be playing it, I don't know, optimally they'll be playing it full screen, although I don't know how people will be playing it. Yeah, it's like an old artist thing to do, just always go back and take it the whole thing in, come back. At this resolution it is tough, because I think if you played huge and super close, then yeah, things will not hold up as well necessarily. So that's always a concern. But I won't really know what it looks like until I drop it in the game. But I guess the point being is I have to make sure that the building reads well, you know, from far, from close. So no matter what, people will be able to see what the heck is going on, and all that work is not lost. Hello at the Violet Hour, welcome to stream, and yeah, thanks for checking out the game on itch. Yes, massive, huge Colonel's Bequest influence. I got to meet Doug Herring, the artist for Crimson, Colonel's Bequest, last year, and a huge, huge influence. I love his work. I like to say that it's, to me, the most beautiful EGA game that Sierra made. It's just the color, the light and the shadow. It's the best thing ever. And it definitely, like, when I first started making pixel art, it's what I looked at. It's what I wanted. Yeah, Slat Studio, I'm not sure if there's enough contrast for the sections yet, so I'm definitely, when I finish just doing this bit in, I'm going to go back, and I'm thinking of fiddling with the contrast for sure. 100%. Because it's going to need to hold up. Oh yeah, and I forgot to do this whole section. Really, at the Violet Eye, you've never met another soul who's played the Colonel's Bequest? I think there'll be plenty of people who've played it in this chat, because there are a lot of adventure game fans here, I get the feeling. It is my favorite. Well, I mean, I think game design-wise, I think it's really excellent. It does a lot of things really well, and differently. And the art, of course, so... Yes, you are definitely in the right place. Like Slat Studio has made an EGA game as well. And Slat Studio, if you want to drop a link to your game in chat, please do, because another EGA lover. So it's always good to have more of those. Oh, nice! You're just randomly browsing Twitch. Sweet. Yeah. The setting is really cool. And I love the idea of it being like almost like Agatha Christie traditional murder mystery, where the setting you get to really get a feeling of a sense of place. The environments are so well realized. The way Doug Herring uses the dithering and his color choices are stunning. Oh yeah, I gotta work on this part. Glad you found us, by the way. Bill Kuhn found 5.25-inch installation discs for the Sierra Network. Yeah, so Slat Studio he made an EGA adventure game. I haven't played it yet. Betrayed Alliance. Definitely try it out. Mousemus, you want a temporary substitute background in place of the green and blue? Is it throwing you off? Bill Kuhn's on a treasure hunt. He's got 5.25-inch Prodigy installation discs. Yes, and also Betrayed Alliance by Slat Studio is free, so there's no reason not to. Definitely. So yeah, I'm thinking, I'm gonna try to drop in some brick texture into the front, because I feel like it's getting lost. And we'll play with it, And also the side of the building. Yeah, yeah, it's a bit of a blank slate, this whole area, isn't it? What I'm gonna do... I'm gonna select this area and just try some... I don't know if I have any temporary backgrounds I could just let it be in. Yeah, we can just drop in a couple lines for bricks or something. Maybe that'll help. Or, some other thing. Oh, and Slat Studio is on Twitter as well. And Slat Studio did an interview with Adventure Game Geek, who does amazing videos. So there's that too. So let's just see if that is going to help or make it worse. Because I kind of suspect I'm making this worse. Ooh. Ooh, yes, let's do you composed your soundtrack as well. Holy cow. Most of your soundtrack you composed? Definitely up on me. I composed 0%. Oh, that's not true. There was a death ditty in the Crimson Diamond. Well, it's still in there, actually. In the Crimson Diamond demo, there's an original piece of music composed by me. And it's terrible. but it's there. Yeah, this wall is throwing me off, but unfortunately the wall in the actual thing is not very helpful. Okie dokie. So this wall is just bad. So what can we do? I feel like black line would be way too much, but I don't know what else to do with it. The brown would also look weird, probably. What are we gonna do with this wall? Yeah, it's not gonna work. Is black gonna work? It's gonna be too dark. I might have to do black with and knock it down with a dither. That might be what happens. So this is what I mean by complicated dither, like doing line work and then dithering the line work, and only the line work. Yeah. Let's try that. It's gonna probably look awful, but you know, this is digital art, it can all be undone. Oh, just contiguous. That's contiguous? No way. Oh well. Let's go to quick mask. We can fix that. Oh, quick mask. One of the reasons I love Photoshop CS2 is quick mask. You can paint out that whole selection area. And now I'm only dealing with that wall. Okay. So why don't we drop in a couple bad lines here. Oh, I don't like that line. I want another line. Okay. Just see what happens with this. This might be a terrible idea. Yep. Okay. I just want to see what happens if I do this. It's fine. It's good enough. Just want to see what this looks like. Don't worry about this. This looks bad. Don't worry about it. Don't even. It's fine. I just want to see. And Dan has been testing Empire of Sin, which is the latest game by John and Brenda Romero. Brenda and John Romero. And Dan did the music for that. And he can't say anything else except that he did the music for it. Oh, thank you for the, let me check the follow notifications. Just say to know what I'm thinking. Probably following? Oh, thank you, Michael BH76 for the follow. Appreciate it. I gotta get back. Okay. So we're gonna see if this beautiful brick wall that I've done, look how beautiful it is. We're going to do some dithering of just this line and see what happens. Because it's going to be too dark as it is. Right? But maybe if we knock it back completely with dithering, more gray, it'll be okay. So let's find out. It might be just enough. See, that's not bad, is it? Oh, yes, and yes, thank you, Dan. There are Empire of Sin gameplay streams and all that on Paradox Interactive's Twitch that Dan just linked. Okay, yeah, so, but yeah, you see what I mean? If I took that black line and I just knocked it back with a dither, just the line. And I think that'll be the way for that side of the building. So I'll actually put some effort in to do that. So let's just undo that, and let's make a nice brick wall. Oh yeah, and I gotta do this again. Oops. Wow. The screen is so much bigger than the Surface Pro 2. It's kind of nice. Oops. And I can save this as well, which I probably will never need it again, but hey, let's save this particular layers, this particular selection. And this is another thing I love about Photoshop. I can save this as wall, and then if I want the same selection, I can load it again. Oh, so that's Studio. You did vector-based EGA art? Oh my gosh. Respect. Full respect to that. I cannot. I could not. That's so wonderful that you did that. But yeah, the Photoshop CS2, it's got everything I need. But yeah, let's just carefully do a real brick wall. Even the one I kind of did that way wasn't that bad, was it? I'm not even going to try to do this well. Because it's going to end up kind of like a pile of pixels that kind of looks like something. That's the goal. So if this isn't perfect, it's like not a huge deal. Vector-based EGA art is what Prodigy used? Yeah, I think all Sierra's stuff was vector-based, I think. Wasn't it? Which is kind of crazy. Yeah, they used SCI companion or editor or something. Some kind of SCI thing. And that does like a stepwise thing, maybe? I actually know very little about the tech that they had. I know very little about the tech I'm using now. I know enough to do what I need. Okay, yeah, Slash Studio. SCI Studio and SCI Companion were reverse engineered, and Sierra had, yeah, they had some original thing. Yeah, that makes sense. That's good enough. I'm fine with that. So, this is where I think I'll go in with the Stylus. Although, let me save this as a separate thing. A separate, not a separate layer. Okay. Just little bricks. It's gonna end up being more of a texture, I think. Ugh. Come on. There's a bit of jittering I find with the pen, with whatever. It might have to do with the fact that this is such a low resolution that it's kind of struggling to find where it should go. But, you know, it's not bad. Sometimes it's me. And if they don't go all the way to the bottom, that's not a problem either. The irregularity will give it personality. Except when it does that. Oh, cool. One of the writers for Empire of Sin was at the Galway NUI Festival. I miss stuff like that. I miss events. Why is this not working? And that's another... Why is this not working? Pencil. Oh, it's I'm an eraser, huh? Another reason I got the this Surface Book 3 is because, yeah, I I need to work when I travel to things. So it's another reason to have something portable. And I also, you know what?